Russian energy by Europe and how horrible that was. I mean, he took a very tough stance against Russia. I'm surprised you don't think that he would have handled this better than Joe Biden.
No, he did not. He did not.
We
didn't sanction Nord Stream 2. We didn't sanction Nord Stream 2. We should have. We should have brought the project to an end. We did impose sanctions on Russian oligarchs, but in almost every case, the sanctions were imposed with Trump complaining about it and saying we were being too hard. The fact is that he barely knew where Ukraine was. He once asked John Kelly, his second chief of staff, if Finland were a part of Russia. It's just not accurate to say that Trump's behavior somehow deterred the Russians. I think the evidence is that Russia didn't feel. Let me finish now.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't feel that their military was ready.
I've covered the right-wing news network Newsmax before, and the more I learn about their perspective on the world, the more I realize that they are truly speaking to one type of audience member, Trump fans. Not conservatives, not the Republican Party, but Trump. This can be seen in the recent interview John Bolton did with them on the ongoing situation in Ukraine. Yes, John Bolton, the right-wing war hawk who served Trump's own national security advisor, is clearly on Newsmax's enemies list. Bolton firmly pushed back on the argument that Trump took a tough stance against Russia, which I think even the biggest Russia apologist would say is totally false. Basically, Newsmax was making the argument that there's a reason Putin's invasion of Ukraine is coming when Trump is no longer the president, because Trump allegedly was so tough on Putin. Of course, we all know that's not the case, but being on the same side as John Bolton says so much about Newsmax and what audience they're actually speaking to. No, he did not, Bolton said forcefully, going on to argue that the US should have sanctioned Nord Stream 2. Nord Stream 2 is an inoperable gas pipeline that was going to go from Russia to Germany. The Trump administration did not sanction the pipeline, but the Biden administration announced just last week that it would. The Newsmax host also claimed in the defense of Trump that he, quote, sanctioned oligarchs close to Putin. But again, Bolton pushed back, saying that in almost every case, sanctions were imposed with Trump complaining about it, saying we were being too hard. He goes on, the fact is he barely knew where Ukraine was. As the world's eyes are on Ukraine, it's pretty remarkable how little a grasp on world politics Newsmax and Trump have. It's clearly an agenda, if not personality-driven network. Above all else, what's frightening is how big their reach is getting. I mean, getting a former top national security advisor on your show who specialized in Ukraine at this time is huge. So it's clear their legitimacy is rising. The interview ended in a near shouting match, with Bolton also revealing that the former president asked John Kelly if Finland were in Russia. The more we learn about the past administration, the more we realize just how incapable they were. But with many of the Washington elites still circling around administrations on the left and right, we still can't be totally sure that we're in good hands. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.